been trying to teach agents how to build a very robust and very profitable pipeline of business, a 365 a year pipeline that just feeds your family, right? And it always falls short for agents that are not on my team because they don't have training, they don't have the accountability, they're just not in the ecosystem of that team culture of productivity. And this is so foreign to them. They've never had this kind of training. And I don't, we talked a lot yesterday during our mastermind at the Container Yard and Mobile. Ashley Williams brought this concept up of like being a believer and like all this stuff. She's heard me like preach for a long time. She just never really bought into it. And so she was talking yesterday about how she and Hannah posted a Craigslist ad and generated a cash buyer, and it closed in 10 days. And now she's a believer. And so a little while back, I was like, the only way I know, or the best way I know, to bring agents into a controlled environment where I can actually see, like I can see, like when you use Boomtown, I can see when you're logging in. I can see the time it takes for you to first contact a lead. I can see your email communication. I can see your database management process. I can see all the things you're doing right, and then all the things you might be doing wrong in terms of growing your database, managing your database, converting internet leads. Just give you an example. So I have one agent, I'm just calling this a case study, right? And one agent I've got in the case study program here in Birmingham. So I was coaching her on how to convert these leads into contacts and start relationships and things of that nature. And one of the things I suggested to her is that she do things for these leads without being asked. So if we see that an internet lead, and Boomtown gives us this capability where we can see how many times they've looked at a property, if they have calculated a loan on that property, if they've emailed that property to a friend. And so that tells me, like, if they're doing any one of those things or a combination of them, I'm like, this lead's pretty serious. They're at least not a looky-loo or a tire kicker. I mean, some of these leads are going to register because they're just curious. I mean, they're like legit just curious. Maybe they have a house in the neighborhood or on the same street, or their friend likes the listing and their friend was like, oh, you got to Google this listing. I think we're going to put in an offer, and they're curious. So you got to circumvent through the ones that are just registering just to look at more pictures or just out of curiosity with no intent of actually purchasing. But the ones that are really active and keep coming back to the site and looking for properties, that's just a telltale sign that we've got somebody that could be really viable if they're not working with another agent. And a great way to convert those leads is to do things for them without being asked. So let's just say, for instance, somebody was looking primarily at homes in Rock Creek. I would find out as much information on Rock Creek as I possibly could, community events, upcoming community events, what's it cost to join the golf club, like what's that membership. I would send them some information on like maybe year to date. I'd send them like a CMA summary for the subdivision year to date, what's been selling, what's the average sales price, average days on market, maybe some information or a link to the Rock Creek Property Owners Association website. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff that could go here. I could send them information on the Fairhope school system. I could send them information on Fairhope. So just doing things for them without being asked is a great way to build rapport. So this agent was just sent a generic email after that training. She sent a generic email saying, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, I'm here if you need anything or if you've got any questions. Well, there's no value there's no proactive value in that approach. And so it allowed me to see how she's trying to engage with these leads and then offer coaching as to how she can improve or actually run a play that works a little bit better or that will produce a little bit more results. So that's where we are. It's a combination of showing agents how to generate leads, how to build and manage and nurture a super profitable database, how to convert these leads, and how to build ultimately that 365 a year pipeline.